Good morning, everybody. Hope y'all are having a good day today. Looks like it's going to be a good one. I just wanted to come on here first. Really didn't have any news planned, news stories, but something happened yesterday afternoon uh, at the place where my dad works in a small little community. Probably about, as the crow flies, probably 10 miles from where he lives. Uh, Worked at a place called Smitty's Supply Incorporated, and they do like uh, pretty much anything with oil related, like diesel products, oil, bar and channels, or chainsaws, like pretty much any kind of oil lubricant they make. They're like one of the largest private oil companies out there in the U.S. But they had an explosion at their facility in Arcola, Roseland area, and last I seen, pretty much the whole place kind of went up in flames. Um, he drove his truck there for work, so I'm pretty sure that's probably toast. But thankfully, I don't. As far as I know, no lives were lost, no one injured. So that's a major plus there. But I'm sure the environmental fallout's gonna be pretty bad. I know it was like raining oil and stuff because it happened to be raining at the same time. And of course, all the people that have lost their jobs, I think they employ around like 450 something people. But yeah, it's a bad deal. Sad situation. And pray for the firefighters and all of them probably still working the scene. Oh boy. Like, I don't know what kind of setback. I mean, I'm sure it'll be a pretty good setback for the economy around there, but just pray that everything can bounce back eventually. But just keep everyone in your prayers. Well, I guess I'll move on to my topic of the day, which is Waylon Jennings, my favorite country artist. You know, so like nowadays in a country career, they put out what? I mean, a decent career these days is like what, 11, 12 albums? I mean, that's probably doing good. He put out 46, 46 albums. Can you imagine? Like, that's insane. Like, I think in the 70s alone, he put out like a career's worth, about like 15 in 10 years. And so I was trying to think like which albums are like my favorite of his, which is hard to do. But I think probably my favorite favorite album, which this is probably gonna be blasphemous according to hardcore Waylon fans. Prob Probably my favorite is his 1990 album, The Eagle. I love that album. And then let's see. So number one probably be The Eagle, and then after that probably I've always been crazy 1978 album, which was a number one album. The Eagle was a number nine. And then number three would probably be Honky Tonk Heroes. Number four would probably be probably Good Hearted Woman. And then probably Dreaming My Dreams, which was also a number one. So those would probably be my top five album of his. And then, of course, my favorite song would probably also be, I don't know, probably either between The Eagle or Just to Satisfy You off his 1969 album of the same name. Even though Lonesome Honoring means a good one too. But yeah, he's got so many good albums, it's hard to choose. And like, so he has like, Ken Owens has like three eras of his career. So like, you have from like, so his first album came out in '64. So probably from like '64 to '71, they all kind of sound similar. They started getting a little more, tell you more that outlaw sound in like the early '70s, like '70, '71. But then when you get to '72, Good Hearted Woman, you can definitely hear that outlaw sound in his albums. And then, so like the first set was probably like what you call the Nashville sound back in the '60s. And then the '70s, from like '72 onward, definitely that outlaw sound. But then you get to like, I would say probably to '82. So probably a 10-year span there. You had that outlaw sound. So Black on Black was probably the last one they had that definite outlaw sound. And then after that, it was kind of, I mean, would you call it an '80s sound? I mean, I don't know if they have an 80s sound, what they call that. But it was kind of all over the place, really. I'll say all over the place, like, but it wasn't like that outlaw sound. Of course, he had a lot of those were like collaboration albums with like Willie and some other artists. But then probably around his 87 album, man, called Hoss or Full Circle in 88, it started sounding more like what you would think of like the 90s sound. So he was kind of in that too. And the Eagle, that is like 90s right there. I mean, it came out in 1990, so yeah, it's like definitely 90s sounds. And then, but then after that, his other albums, they don't really have the what you would think of like the 90s sound. They kind of steered more back towards like the early 80s. But so he had, so the Eagle actually charted number 9. So that was probably, yeah, that was his last like real charting album was in 1990, the Eagle. Then let's see, he had, let's see, his first number one album. So his first number one album actually didn't come out until 75, and that was Dreaming My Dreams, which is surprising. Like, none of the other albums were even number one. Actually, so he's had a, so Waylon at JD's, which was his first album, I don't even think charted. And then Folk Country charted at number 9. Leaving Town, number 3. Nashville Rebel, number 4. Then Waylon Sings Old Harlan was 32. And then Love of the Common People was number 3. Now that's a good album too. The One and Only, 19. Hanging On, number 9. Only the Greatest, number 12. Jules, number 6. Just to Satisfy You was number 7. That was his last album in the 60s. So in the 70s, like I always thought like his outlaw movement was like 1970. But I mean, actually, it really didn't start until 72. Granted, by the time 72 rolled around in the 70s, he already had one, two, three, four albums out in the 70s before his outlaw movement really kicked in. And his first album in the 70s, Waylon, was at number 14 charted. Singer of Sad Songs, 23. The Taker and Tulsa, number 12. Cedartown, Georgia, 27. Now, Good Hearted Woman charted at number 7. Now, this is the one that is just boggles my mind. Ladies Love Outlaws only charted at number 11? How? Like, that's one of his most popular songs. I mean, I know this is an album, but. And then Lonesome, Ornery, and Mean at number 8. And Honky Tonk Heroes only charted at number 14. crazy. I figured these would be like. I always thought these were like number one albums. I mean, this time, I think it was his. So it charted at number four. The Rambling Man charted at number three, and then Dreaming My Dreams was his first number one album, and that didn't come about until 1975. So he started in '64. So folks, listen, it might take you 10, 11 years before you get your first number one, which I know nowadays, if you ain't getting a number one song probably in like 2 or 3 years, you're probably gonna be canned. But yeah, his first number one album didn't come about until 11 years after his first album. Can you imagine? But then, so Dreaming My Dreams, number one. Are You Ready for the Country? Number one. Oh Waylon, number one. I've Always Been Crazy, number one. So he had one, two, three, four albums in a row that reached number one. And then his last album in '79 for the '70s, What Goes Around Comes Around, did number two. And then in the '80s, Music Man reached number one. So he almost had a stretch where he had one, two, three, four, five, six albums in a row go number one. And then Black on Black, the '82 album, did number three. And then he didn't have another number one album until the Will the Wolf Survive, which was in '86. Never Could Toe the Mark was the '84 album, only reached 20. And that's crazy too, because that's a good album. That's one of his popular songs too. It's just crazy the amount, volume of work and stuff that they did back in those days. Like a lot of the Outlaws, man, they were just cranking them out. Could you imagine artists these days putting out like two, three records a year? I mean, I know Morgan Wallen puts a record out that has like 37 songs. Like, why not just do three albums? It's crazy. And they were touring a lot of the time too. Like they weren't just, you know, do nothing. I mean, they were either touring or recording a lot of the times. Now, if you want to get some real good stories about Waylon Jennings and some of these other artists, so there's a show. I don't know if it's still on. I think it was like 2 seasons, but it was like I think it was called Tales from the Tour Bus. I think, and they did like the first season was like a bunch of older country artists. Oh my goodness, dude, the stories on that, like people that were around him and stuff. Oh, it's a must watch. Oh, and so his son, Terry Jennings, wrote a book, I think like 5 years ago, maybe somewhere around a couple of years back. It's a must too. Oh, you will laugh and laugh. It is so funny. The stories and like it is a really good book. So I highly recommend it. And if you don't like to read, you like to listen, it's also on like you can get the audible version of it. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like probably my favorite artist from like the 70s. Waylon's probably Waylon's number one. The number two would be Merle Haggard. Number three, oh man, I think well he's from like 70s and 80s, but Vern Gosdin, very good. I know he's not as popular. Let's see what that was three. Uh, Four would probably be hmm, probably Hank Jr. Even though I know he like his original material wasn't more until the 80s, but no, I was looking back. He would be number five. Sorry, he'd be number five, and then Charlie Daniels would be number four. So that's kind of like my list there. And not that the others aren't good. I like Johnny Cash, uh, George Jones. They're all good, but those are probably like my top five. And yeah, I'll just put on like get on Spotify and do like Waylon Jennings radio. Ah, listen to a bunch of good stuff. And really, it's funny. People are like, "Oh man, I liked it whenever they were country." It's like, yeah, I mean, a good majority of Waylon Jennings material is pure country. I mean, you like go in the deep catalog of stuff, not just the hits, but most of his stuff. I mean, it's like pure country. Now, there's a few albums where he kind of he went more like rock, rockabilly, but at least it was still good music and not this weird beat nonsense stuff. Just trying too hard to sound rock or whatever. Like I don't have a problem if country artists want to do different stuff. Just call it what it is. If you're going to have a rock album, hey, say it's rock. I mean, I don't expect y'all to do the exact same thing all the time. I'm just label it like it's supposed to. Just because you normally sing country or rock or whatever, don't mean you can't sing other stuff. Just label it what it's supposed to be labeled as. That's all I'm saying. And he was also doing music. Like he was doing music before he even started recording on his own. Like he played bass in Buddy Holly's band. And if he wouldn't have given up his bunk bed to, I forget which one of them was that was sick, he would have been on that plane that crashed. Fortunately for him, he wasn't. Unfortunately for the other guy, that was a bad deal. That was a bad deal all around. Sad day. And it took a toll on him. He For a long time he said that he felt like he caused it because they had a little friendly thing going on, and one uh one one guy told Waylon that he hoped his bus freezes, and then Waylon's like, "Well, I hope your uh, plane crashes or something or other." Yep. I mean, it wasn't his fault, but sad situation. But yeah, so Waylon's probably my favorite. And then as far as females go, probably mm, probably Tanya Tucker's my favorite. Yeah, she had a lot of good stuff too. Yeah, I figured I'd cover some of Waylon Jennings. Not a long episode, but gotta go mow the grass around the station here. Woo, get a little long. Gotta drink my gains over here. Gotta stay fit. Ain't getting any younger. Gotta keep moving, folks. Get out, exercise. It's a good Saturday, nice and sunny here. Says it's 87 already. Whoo, boy, I gotta get out and get mowing before it's like 98. Was gonna do it this morning, but boy, the grass was still wet, and I don't feel like clogging my lawnmower up. I got the old pull, start, and push. Gotta work. Gotta get exercise, folks. Exercise. Get out. If you're not in the country, in the city, go to the gym. If you got your own weights, so I work out in my living room. So work out, get muscles. Probably make a video of mowing the grass and weed eating, just to show y'all I do work. Whew. Oh boy, well, I hope all of y'all are having a good day. Just think, folks, next week, next Saturday, oh, college football starts. Yes, hooray, folks. Now, LSU, please do not bomb on the first week of college football. Not like you did last year. Okay, Brian Kelly, come on. But, well, guess I better get going, work out, go mow the lawn. straighten up around the joint. Hope y'all have a blessed rest of y'all's day and weekend. And once again, thanks to all of y'all who have subscribed so far. Uh, don't forget to comment, hit the like button, hit the notification bell for be notified whenever I upload, and hit the subscribe button. And I will see y'all later. And God bless y'all and have a good day. Oh, one more thing. And as always, I am your host, Wayne with Gaines. And this has been another episode of SWF News. Thank y'all and good day.